It's something we touch every day, yet few truly understand what it is. We work for it, save it, measure our worth with it, but behind every printed bill and digital balance lies a quiet system that constantly drains our wealth, not through taxes, not through theft at gunpoint, but through inflation. Inflation is the invisible hand that reaches into your wallet while you're asleep. It's the gradual erosion of purchasing power, the reason your grandparents bought a home on one salary, and today, two incomes can barely cover rent. Inflation means the same dollar buys less over time. A cup of coffee, a month of rent, a college degree, all more expensive. Not because they became more valuable, but because your money became weaker. Governments and central banks call inflation a sign of a healthy economy. They say 2% inflation is good, predictable, stable. But think about that. If your wealth loses 2% every year, that's like a hidden tax on everything you earn, everything you own, and everything you save. Over 20 years, that small 2% shaves away almost half your purchasing power. You didn't vote for that. You didn't agree to it. Yet you pay it, year after year, without question. This is the dark side of fiat money. Currency created not by the market, not backed by anything of real value, but by decree. Fiat means, let it be done. Governments say, this is money, and by law, it becomes so. But what happens when the power to print money is unlimited? When every crisis is solved by creating more currency out of thin air, the result is simple. Every new dollar dilutes the value of the ones already in circulation. Inflation isn't an accident. It's a feature. Throughout history, every fiat system has eventually failed. Ancient Rome diluted its silver denarius until it was little more than metal dust. In the late 1700s, the French assignats collapsed after overprinting. In the 1980s, Brazil's Cruzeiro lost nearly all value in a few short years. But perhaps the most striking modern example is Zimbabwe. In the early 2000s, Zimbabwe's government began printing money to fund its growing expenses and political promises. At first, it seemed like a solution. The economy appeared to boom. But as more currency flooded the system, prices spiraled out of control. By 2008, inflation in Zimbabwe reached an unimaginable level, 79.6 billion% per month. People carried bags of cash just to buy bread. Workers were paid twice a day because by evening, their wages were worthless. Savings evaporated, pensions dissolved, and trust in money itself collapsed. Citizens turned to foreign currencies and bartering goods because the national money had become a joke. You might think, that's Zimbabwe. It can't happen here. But look around. The same pattern repeats, only slower, quieter. The US dollar has lost over 95% of its purchasing power since the Federal Reserve was created in 1913. Prices don't just rise, the dollar falls. Governments overspend, central banks print, and citizens pay the price in a language few understand. Depreciation. Inflation is the modern thief dressed in a suit and tie. It doesn't break into your home. It simply changes the numbers on a balance sheet, and your wealth disappears. It's the perfect crime because it hides behind complexity. Most people blame corporations or greed, but the truth lies in the monetary base, in the constant expansion of supply that benefits those closest to the money printer first. Politicians, big banks, and asset owners gain. The average saver loses. This system rewards debt and punishes discipline. It encourages spending, not saving, consumption, not creation, because holding fiat over time means guaranteed loss. Now imagine a world where this slow theft is impossible. A system where the money supply can't be manipulated, where 21 million units exist, and that's it, forever. That's Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not just a digital currency, it's a monetary revolution. Its supply is capped at 21 million coins, written into code that no central authority can change. Every 4 years, new issuance cuts in half, a process known as the halving, until eventually, no more coins will be created. This fixed, transparent, deflationary structure means Bitcoin grows stronger over time, not weaker. Unlike fiat, you can't inflate it away. You can't bail out corporations with it. You can't fund political short-term fixes with invisible debt. With Bitcoin, value is preserved, not diluted. When people talk about number go up, it's not greed, it's math. A fixed supply meeting growing demand. Bitcoin represents time stored faithfully. Every Satoshi is a small fortress against inflation. It rewards patience, savings, and long-term thinking, values that the fiat system punishes. In a world addicted to printing, Bitcoin is monetary sobriety. To understand inflation's impact, think of it like a chronic illness, one that weakens society's economic body day by day. At first, the symptoms are mild. Prices tick up, wages seem to keep pace, but slowly, the fatigue sets in. People work harder but feel poorer. savings shrink, retirement dreams drift further away. The middle class, once strong and confident, begins to hollow out. Inflation is an economic diabetes, silent, persistent, and destructive if ignored. And just like a doctor treats disease by removing its cause, not just its symptoms, we need to address the root problem, a money supply that can expand without limit. Bitcoin is that treatment, not a bandage, not a new flavor of the same system, but an entirely new immune response. Its financial health restored through scarcity and transparency. Imagine a future where your savings actually grow in value over time, where your hard work today buys more tomorrow, not less, where global trade operates on neutral money, not one nation's promise. That's the world Bitcoin points toward. Not utopia, but honesty. Not instant riches, but lasting fairness. Of course, critics say Bitcoin is volatile, unpredictable, but volatility is the birth pain of a new system replacing a broken one. Over time, stability emerges not from control, but from trust. Trust in math, in transparency, in a system where rules are clear and unchangeable. The irony is that inflation, this hidden tax we've come to accept, depends entirely on our ignorance. Once people see it for what it is, the spell breaks. The more we learn, the more we demand better money. And for the first time in history, technology gives us a choice. Bitcoin is that choice. It's not about getting rich quick. It's about not getting robbed slowly. It's about a return to sound money, where effort and reward stay connected, where savings mean freedom, and where governments are accountable to the same economic laws as everyone else. Inflation may be a constant under fiat, but it's not a law of nature. It's a design flaw, one that Bitcoin was built to fix. So, the next time you see prices rise, remember, that's not the market changing. That's your money shrinking. And while most people will accept it as normal, you'll know better. You'll see through the illusion. The real question is, will you keep holding a melting ice cube, or will you step into the system that refuses to melt? Bitcoin doesn't promise you wealth. It promises you fairness, and in a world of hidden theft, that's revolutionary. Because the greatest form of financial freedom isn't earning more, it's losing less. And with Bitcoin, for once, the value you create stays yours.